Guess you boys heard the news. Old Mel Trotter passed today. 25 years of preaching the gospel. The Lord finally called Mel away. Mel's penance was over. He cast his last burden down. For Mel Trotter wasn't always a preacher. He was once the sorriest SOB in town. You see, Mel was once the town drunk, a man of disreputable means. He drank whiskey 24/7 till one night he had a dream. Afterwards, Mel, he gave up the booze, started giving his testimony. To hear his story put goosebumps on your arms. You could tell the man was no phony. Mel's story begins with his wife and baby daughter in a shack where they lived by the tracks. Miss Trotter ironed clothes and took in laundry, carrying the baby around on her back. Mel came home drinking one morning. He could tell things were out of place. His wife sat there at the kitchen table. She had an ashen look there on her face. The little girl had grown sick the night before. Her temperature now 102. The doctor had come and examined the little girl. He said it was a bad case of the flu. The kindly doctor had written a prescription. The local drugstore had the pills. Mrs. Trotter had borrowed $10 from a neighbor to get the prescription filled. She handed Mel the $10 bill, said, "Please hurry home, Mel." But Mel's thoughts were a-racing as his life soon turned to hell. For Mel never made it to the drugstore. He went to the liquor store instead. He was still drunk the next morning when they came and told him that his little girl was dead. You see, the little girl, she died the night before. The Lord chose to call her home. No one ever knows what God's will is. We're just left here all alone. The next day, a drunken Mel waddled down to the funeral home. Standing there beside the little casket with his little girl, he was all alone. He gazed down at his baby daughter. She looked as if she was fast asleep. Then he slipped his hand into the casket and stole the shoes off the dead girl's feet. That night, in a drunken stupor, still drunk on wine from the dead girl's shoes, the good Lord came calling on Mel Trotter and took away his need for the booze. He took Mel down to hell's gates, down to the fiery pits below. He showed Mel firsthand where drunken bums in life always go. When Mel awoke from his dream, he was forever a changed man. He went down to the local church and got saved, started preaching throughout the land. Many nights I've heard Mel preach, doing his best to save the world, trying to reach a few lost souls while seeking atonement for the dead little girl. Now Mel will join his wife and baby girl. He's cast his last burden down. Mel Trotter has paid his penance for being the sorriest SOB in town.